In the cold hush of the executive boardroom, the end of Kazu's career was being written.
Kazu was responsible for the leak. He had access to the proposal, and his negligence has cost us the contract.
There it is. The lie I knew was coming. Just like all the other times.
I trusted him as my subordinate, but he repaid my guidance with sabotage. I never thought he'd stoop this low.
The department head's fist slammed the table. This is gross misconduct. Termination is the only option.
My hand rests on my phone. The evidence is right here. But not yet. Let her think she's winning.
I urge you all to see the truth. Kazu has always been a weak link. It was only a matter of time.
She's smiling. She actually believes she'll get away with it. Just like the last time, and the time before that.
Every word she spoke was a nail in her own coffin, but no one in the room knew it yet. But Kazu had not come empty-handed. Hidden away was the one thing Shiori never expected, a weapon forged from every lie she'd ever spoken. Months earlier, the office told a very different story. One that Kazu had learned the hard way. Night after night, his sales figures topped the charts. His proposals brought in millions.
Kazu, your numbers this quarter are outstanding. Everyone, let's give him a round of applause.
It felt hollow. Behind closed doors, she never missed a chance to cut me down.
A typo in an email, hers, and suddenly Kazu was the one who lacked attention to detail.
I saw the pattern early. My success was her weapon, my mistakes her shield.
In team meetings, she'd smile and take credit for his closed deals without a flicker of guilt.
Thanks to my guidance, we've secured the Nakamura account. A team effort, of course.
A team effort? You've never once stayed past 5 to help with a pitch.
But that was just the surface. The real betrayal was still to come, and it would leave no room for doubt. It started with a simple data error in the quarterly report. Numbers that didn't add up.
Kazu, what were you thinking? The client nearly pulled out because of your sloppy work.
But the truth was, those numbers came directly from Shiori's late-night email.
I entered the data you sent me. The timestamp is still on the file.
I don't recall that. You must have used an old version. This is really disappointing. Kazu?
The managers nodded along, their patience thinning. Kazu's protest evaporated.
I was sinking, and she knew it. Every excuse only made me look worse.
Let's not dwell on blame. I'll personally redo the presentation and salvage the account.
After the meeting, Kazu sat at his desk, the silence pressing in.
I need a way to keep every word. Next time, I won't be caught empty-handed.
That evening, Kazu sat in his silent apartment and searched for a way to fight back. An audio recorder app that could run silently, undetected. Even when the screen was off, he tapped install. A tiny green notification appeared. Recording started.
This is it. Every word she says, from now on, I'll have on record.
The next morning, Shiori's shadow fell across his desk. He activated the app with a single press.
I need the Aoki report by noon. Don't mess up the projections like last time.
Right on cue, rewriting history. But this time, you are on tape.
After she walked away, he checked the file. Her voice came through crystal clear. Over the following weeks, the folder grew. Every meeting, every offhand remark, timestamped and archived. He still worked late, still smiled when she took his credit. But deep down, a dangerous confidence was growing. The Yamada account was the largest deal of the quarter. Every detail, every slide, had been Kazu's late-night work.
Thanks to my strategic vision, we've secured the Yamada contract, a landmark partnership for the company.
The conference room erupted in applause. Colleagues beamed at their team lead.
She didn't even glance my way, as if I hadn't spent 3 weeks negotiating every term.
Of course, it was a team effort, but I'm proud to say we outmaneuvered the competition under my guidance.
Guidance? I never once saw her in those midnight calls, but the app is running. It's all recorded.
Kazu clapped along with the others, his expression unreadable. After the meeting, he checked his phone. The red recording light was still blinking.
That's 5 hours of meetings this week, all timestamped. The file is getting heavy.
But the weight of stolen victories was heavier, and it was pressing down on him more each day. The Omori file was the biggest proposal in company history. And by noon, it was in the hands of a rival. The senior VP's voice was icy. Takeshita Cork presented it this morning. Ours. Word for word.
That was my file. I sent the data to the wrong contact. If they trace it,
Her breath caught. The room blurred. Every career milestone flashed before her eyes and began to crumble.
but I can bury this. There's someone no one trusts anymore. Someone they'll believe is capable.
Kazu's face surfaced in her mind. The scapegoat who never fought back. The perfect fall guy.
He had access to the drafts. He's been resentful ever since I corrected his performance. It writes itself.
She stood slowly, smoothing her skirt, her trembling replaced by a practiced calm.
I know who leaked it. I'll make a full statement tomorrow. We need to act before he runs.
By the time Kazu opened his laptop that evening, the trap had already been set. A cold message flashed on his screen. My office. Now. He pressed record in his pocket. The app vibrated once, silent confirmation. He rose and walked toward her office door. Shiori's expression was a perfected mask of grave concern. She gestured for him to sit.
Kazu, something terrible has happened. The Omori proposal, our biggest file, was leaked. You have the most access. I'll try to protect you, but you know how management works.
She's building the frame right in front of me. Keep still. Let her bury herself deeper.
Just cooperate. Tell them it was an accident. A scapegoat, yes, but you'll survive.
She smiled, victory in her eyes. Then, as he turned to leave, she added one more thing.
Honestly, you are the perfect scapegoat. A quiet nobody. No one will ever believe.
The phone in his pocket recorded every syllable. By that afternoon, management had his termination letter drafted. The formal notice arrived the next morning. Disciplinary hearing, 3 days' time. Suspension effective immediately. The office clock hit 11. Kazu gathered his things in silence. No one met his eyes.
They've already decided my guilt. The hearing is a formality, but they don't know what I am carrying.
At home, the apartment felt smaller than ever. He stared at the file folder labeled evidence. Inside were months of audio. Every meeting, every lie, time-stamped second by second.
This is my only weapon. One chance, one moment. If I miss, it's all over.
But the alternative was accepting a permanent stain on his name. That he would never do.
Let them talk. Let them accuse. When that recording plays, there won't be a single doubt left.
He closed the laptop. In 3 days, he would walk into that room and burn everything down. But even he couldn't have predicted what would rise from the ashes. For the next 2 days, Kazu refused to leave anything to chance. Every piece of evidence had to be flawless. He transferred the recordings to multiple devices, each file renamed with the date and context of the betrayal.
One corrupted file. Hours of audio, just gone. But the cloud backup came through. Not today. Fate.
He cross-referenced every word with his emails, building a timeline no one could dispute.
Every excuse, every stolen credit, every lie, all lined up like dominoes. The first one falls, and the rest crumble.
The resignation letter was the hardest. He typed it coldly, then rewrote every word by hand, feeling the finality.
I am not staying in a company that protected a liar. They don't deserve another second of my work.
He rehearsed the moment, connecting the phone, the silence before the play button. Every second counted.
One press, and her own voice will strangle her. Every word a rope tightening around her throat.
By the third evening, every file was backed up. The phone was charged. The resignation letter sat folded in his pocket. The morning arrived under a cold, gray sky. Kazu entered the lobby, his phone heavy with recorded truth. Across the lobby, Shiori stood with a small group. Her smirk was firmly in place, already celebrating.
Good morning. I hope you are ready to clear up this unfortunate mess, for everyone's sake.
Ready? I've been ready for months. but the cleanup I have in mind won't be to your liking.
The conference room doors opened. Inside, the board members sat like a panel of judges, faces unreadable.
This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. No turning back now.
The room was silent, heavy with expectation. One wrong step, and his career would end.
My hand doesn't shake. Everything I need is right here, just to press away.
Shiori sat, casting him a final glance. Half pity, half victory. She believed the game was already won. The department head cleared his throat. The hearing began. Everything was about to change. The department head declared the hearing in session, his voice flat and heavy as iron.
I never wanted this, but for the good of the company, I must tell you everything. Kazu has been a habitual underperformer. I've covered countless mistakes to protect team morale. When I gave him a chance on the Omori file, I thought he'd rise. Instead, he leaked it. Out of petty resentment.
The board members exchanged glances. A junior sales rep with a grudge. It made a perverse sort of sense.
He was the only one with unrestricted access. I begged him to confess, but he just stared at me blankly.
Blankly, she says. No, I just didn't give her what she wanted. I was memorizing everything.
I don't take pleasure in this, but a cancerous employee must be removed before the whole body rots.
Kazu's jaw tightened. The insult settled in his chest like a cold stone, but his hand never moved toward his pocket. He was waiting for the perfect silence. The silence finally arrived. Shiori's final word hung in the air. Kazu leaned forward.
Before any decision, I have something to present. Evidence that will clarify this situation completely.
The department head frowned but nodded. Proceed. But understand, this is your final chance to speak.
What is he doing? He's supposed to just accept it. This wasn't in the script.
I have consistently recorded every meeting with my team lead for the past 6 months.
Shiori's smirk faltered. Her eyes darted to the phone he placed on the table.
This recording is from the day the leak was discovered. I captured our entire conversation.
That's highly irregular. Recordings without consent are a violation. This is a trick.
The law protects me. This is evidence of a crime, not a performance review.
He connected his phone to the conference speaker. The room held its breath. His finger hovered over play. Kazu tapped the screen. Shiori's voice, captured 3 days earlier, erupted into the silent room.
I sent the proposal to the wrong contact. A stupid, careless mistake, but I am not losing my career over it.
The board members straightened. Confusion twisted into alarm. This was not the narrative they'd been fed.
You'll take the blame, Kazu. Cooperate. Tell them it was an accident. You are the perfect scapegoat for this.
In the room, Shiori's body went rigid. Her lips parted, but no sound came out.
Who would believe? A quiet nobody like you. A junior rep against the team lead. It's almost laughable.
The department head slowly removed his glasses, his gaze fixed on the phone as if it were a venomous snake.
Keep your mouth shut, and I'll throw you a reference. But this secret stays between us. Understand?
The recording ended. A suffocating silence choked the room. Not a single breath was drawn. All color had drained from Shiori's face. The perfect mask crumbled into ash, irredeemable ruin. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Shiori's mouth opened, and a strangled noise escaped.
That's not me. It's fabricated. He edited it. I would never say such things.
The department head slammed both palms on the table. Enough. You called him a scapegoat, Mrs. Shiori. We all heard it. Shiori sank into her chair as if the air had been sucked from her lungs. Her hands shook uncontrollably. A second board member spoke, her voice ice cold. We will be contacting legal immediately. Your termination is effective now.
Please, wait. I can explain. It was pressure. The stress of the deal. You have to understand.
No one answered. The room had already turned its back on her. Shiori was invisible now, cancelled. One board member finally looked at Kazu, his eyes filled with a rare, uncomfortable respect. You are completely cleared, Mr. Kazu. Please accept our apologies. We would like to discuss your future here.
Cleared. They would have thrown me away without this recording. Their apologies are just noise now.
Without a word, Kazu reached into his jacket and withdrew a white envelope. The room stilled. He slid his resignation letter across the polished wood. The crisp paper cut the silence.
They wanted to discuss my future. My future doesn't exist in a place that almost destroyed me.
He pushed back his chair and rose. Every movement was measured, controlled, final. Then, for the first time since the hearing began, he looked directly at Shiori.
I don't need words. Just let her see that I won. That her perfect scapegoat broke free.
Kazu, I please.
He didn't respond. He simply turned and walked toward the door, his back a silent verdict. The heavy door clicked shut behind him. Shiori crumbled completely, her sobs filling the emptiness. Kazu walked down the silent hallway toward the lobby. The air felt different, lighter, but charged. Kazu's phone buzzed against his thigh, shattering the lobby's quiet. The screen lit up with a message from Naomi. Knew you were clean. Shiori's being detained now. But let's talk about more than just restitution. That recording was a thing of beauty.
Naomi, the quiet auditor I barely spoke to, she knew all along.
He raised his eyes and scanned the sunlit lobby, and there she was, standing by the glass doors, a slim folder in one hand, her dangerous smile already in place.
Knew you'd walk out with your head high. I've been waiting to say that for a while.
She was waiting for me. This day keeps getting stranger.
Naomi took a step forward, her intense eyes never leaving his.
So, care to discuss more than just restitution? You've earned a different kind of closure.
Kazu felt the weight of the ordeal begin to lift, replaced by a new, unexpected gravity. Naomi stopped a few steps away, her smile unwavering. She lifted the slim folder slightly.
I was the internal auditor assigned to the leak case. I knew the numbers didn't add up against you.
An auditor. So she'd been watching the whole time, waiting for proof I had to provide myself.
I had suspicions for months, but Shiori was careful. Then you walked in with that phone and blew it all open.
Her words landed like a missing puzzle piece. Someone had seen the truth all along.
So you were just waiting for me to hand you the evidence on a silver platter?
Something like that. But watching you execute it so flawlessly, that was an unexpected bonus.
She's not just an auditor. There's a fire in her eyes I didn't expect.
The professional distance between them shrank, replaced by a charged, quiet recognition.
So, Kazu, now that you are free, what do you plan to do next?
Naomi waited, her subtle smile saying she already knew his answer wouldn't be ordinary.
Honestly, I haven't thought that far ahead. The last few months were about surviving, not planning.
Fair enough. But you should know, Shiori is being detained. Corporate theft charges. Your recording made it airtight.
Corporate theft. That's not just termination, it's criminal. She might actually see a courtroom.
Naomi reached into her folder and produced a simple business card, holding it between two fingers.
That's the official reason I am here. But I also meant what I texted. Let's discuss more than restitution.
More than restitution. What exactly do you have in mind?
Start with coffee. No pressure. Just two people who appreciate a well-executed plan and a bit of justice.
Kazu took the card. It felt like a door swinging open after years of locked rooms.
She's direct. I respect that. For the first time in a long while, I am actually curious about tomorrow. Coffee sounds good. After months of just surviving, maybe it's time to start living.
I was hoping you'd say that. There's a quiet place 2 blocks away. They know how to brew actual coffee.
Kazu fell into step beside her. For the first time, the echo of his footsteps didn't feel lonely.
She moves with the same quiet confidence she had, watching me from across the room. I think I like that.
They reached the glass doors, and the city opened up before them, bright and full of possibility.
You know, most people would be crushed after what you went through. But you look relieved.
Because I am free. That company was a cage, and I just picked the lock.
a lockpicks that had a recording button. I have to say, that was remarkably satisfying to witness.
They shared a look that held no pretense. Just two people, standing on the edge of something unnamed, and then with the morning sun warming their backs, they walked into the city together. After the coffee, Kazu returned to his apartment. The rooms that once felt like a cell now felt like his own.
The recording app icon sits on my home screen. I don't need it anymore, but I won't delete it.
It was a reminder, not of the pain, but of the moment he took back control.
She called me a quiet nobody, but quiet doesn't mean powerless.
The city outside his window was indifferent, but for once, he didn't feel invisible in it.
Naomi's card is in my wallet. I'll call her, not because I need to, but because I want to.
And somewhere, Shiori was facing the consequences of her own voice, but those thoughts didn't linger. They were already fading, replaced by a quiet certainty. Kazu had walked out of that hearing with his head high, and he'd keep walking forward. This wasn't an ending. It was the first page of something new. A few days later, Kazu waited outside the coffee shop, morning sun warm on his back.
Did you wait long? I got tied up with the final audit report.
Not long. I was just thinking how different silence feels when you are not waiting for bad news.
That's what justice does. It makes the air lighter.
They ordered without needing to ask. The barista already remembered.
She remembered my order. Such a small thing, but it makes me feel seen.
You are smiling. What's going on in that head of yours?
Just realizing I am finally where I want to be. No more looking over my shoulder.
They sat by the window, conversation flowing easily. The world hurried on, but inside, time felt kind, and Kazu knew, without a doubt, that hitting record had been the best decision of his life. Kazu opened his phone. The recording app icon glowed softly, a silent testament to the truth. He had carried this secret weapon for months, and when the moment came, he used it. Across the table, Naomi watched him with that dangerous, knowing smile.
Still admiring your masterpiece. You know, most people would frame that recording.
Not framing it, just keeping it as a reminder that even the quietest voice matters.
They finished their coffee and stepped out into the afternoon light. The city hummed with life.
So, what now? You are free, Shiori's done, and we've had 3 coffees. What's next, Kazu?
Next, I think I'll just keep moving forward, and maybe see where this goes.
She laughed, and the sound was like a door opening. Kazu realized he hadn't heard anything so honest in years. His phone vibrated once in his pocket. A message from the past, but this time, he didn't need to check. He already had his answer.